Hello everyone! Today we are going to explain why does ice float on water with chemistry. This video is brought to you by GIG 1005 Social Engagement. When we drop ice into water, the question comes to our mind that why does ice float on water rather than sinking? To understand the answer to this question, we try to divide this question into two parts. First of all, we try to know why does anything float in water. Secondly, we try to know why does anything sink in the water. After getting answers to these questions, we can understand the answer to the actual question. Whenever you put ice cubes into your glass of water, do you ever wonder what makes them float instead of sinking to the bottom of your glass? This doesn't just occur with small ice cubes. Giant icebergs float atop oceans and lakes. Sinking versus floating. The density of an object is what determines whether that object will sink or float. But first, we have to understand what is the meaning of high and low density. High density means particles that are closely packed together tightly like iron nails, while low density means particles that are loosely packed together such as woods. If an object or substance is less dense or having less weight than other components in the mixture, it will float. When an object floats, it displays a wake of fluid equal to its own wake. Let us use a bucket of water and some rocks to explain this concept. When tossing rocks into a bucket of water, the rocks will sink. This is because the rocks are denser than the water, so they displace the water or push it out of the way. Before we move on to the actual question, we need to understand why is ice less dense than water. Because when a liquid is cold, more molecules are brought closer together and need to be accommodated in a smaller area. This results in most solids having a greater density than liquids. Not so with ice. Water consists of positively charged hydrogen atoms and negatively charged oxygen atoms. When water cools, the hydrogen bonds adjust to hold the negatively charged oxygen atoms apart, which prevents the ice from becoming any denser. So, for water, the density actually decreases along with a decrease in temperature, causing ice to be less dense than water. Now, let us get to the actual question. Why does ice float? Since it is known that solid objects are denser and having more weight than liquids, and ice is a solid, one would automatically think that ice would sink in water. But it doesn't. What is so special about ice that causes it to float? Believe it or not, ice is actually about 9% less dense than water. Since the water is heavier, it depletes the lighter ice, causing the ice to float to the top. A gift to nature. Let us see how important it is to nature. When looking at this concept in nature, we see how important it is. Lakes and rivers freeze from top to bottom, enabling fish to survive even after the surface of the body of water they live in has frozen over. This winter season, when you're out in nature walking, sledding, or ice skating, if there's a river or lake nearby, take some time to closely observe it. Has the top frozen over? If so, look around, look through the frozen layer, and see if you can spy any fish happily swimming around. So, that's all from us. We hope that you would understand better after you watch this video on why does ice float. Don't forget to follow us on our Instagram and do comment if you have anything to say. Bye-bye!